The world of Xenoblade Chronicles, a world breathing with intriguing forms of life. You're probably wondering who or even what are these two behemoths in the background footage. These two titans are the Bionis and the Mechonis. Two titans that were locked in battle in a world of endless ocean. Both dealt a striking blow to each other, leading both titans to be frozen at a standstill, with their corpses becoming habitable land for the organisms that would live there. The Bionis features a plethora of environments, such as grassy plains, dark and cold caves, beautiful marshes, lush forests, breathtaking seas, and blistering tundras. The Mechonis features environments like gears, conveyor belts and factories. They really weren't creative with this one, were they? But what was once the left arm of Mechonis now lies dormant as a lush beach after centuries from the time it was severed via the Bionis from their ancient battle. The interior of the Bionis features a beating heart and various veins around it, whilst the interior of the Mechonis is, drumroll please, more mechanical stuff. Honestly, your hopes were way too high if you expected something different. The Mechonis sword that pierced through Bionis, named Sword Valley, now connects the two titans to each other. Inhabitants of Bionis or Mechonis can cross this sword onto their chosen titan. This area trait has led to many invasions of Bionis due to the critical position of Sword Valley. The Bionis and Mechonis utilize a substance known as ether, which can be found as fuel or channeled into raw energy. On Bionis, one can acquire ether from ether crystals from the pond of an ether crystal deposit, while Mechonis on the other hand stores ether within a machine called ether gears, located all over the Mechonis, and we can harvest it here instead. Ether crystals are then used to craft gems, along with providing many different benefits to the inhabitants of Bionis. But all of these environments don't matter if you don't have creatures on them, unless you want to be like Detroit, and no one wants to be like Detroit. Right? On Bionis, you'll find creatures like bunnets, brogs, and oh my god, cameraman, fall back. I said fall back! On other areas of the Bionis, you'll find treacherous dragons, and the most mysterious of them all, the Telethia. Telethia have the power of soul read, allowing them to read the minds of various organisms to know their next move. Their current point of origin is unknown, as they seem to have existed back in the ancient era of the world. Mechonis is home to the enemies of Bionis, the mekon. Mekon appear in various ranks and sizes, in mainly quadruple, bipedal, and even moist models. They also have special tank-sized mekon designed for raw power and transportation. The highest rank of mekon is face mekon. These models have the highest mobility and combat prowess, along with the ability to communicate fluently with the inhabitants of Bionis, primarily Homs. How they came into possession of these abilities is currently unknown. But creatures aren't the only things inhabiting these two titans. Oh no. There are also races. No, not that races, silly. These races. On Bionis there are multiple, but let's start with Homs. Homs are the closest equivalent to humans, being omnivores but possessing the intellect to construct buildings and technology, such as the mobile artillery. They truly are remarkable beings. Sadly, however, Homs have become prey and the primary food source of the mekon, most likely due to the battles waged with the mechanical menace on Sword Valley. To combat the mekon and pierce their armor, Homs use the legendary Monado, the sword of the Bionis itself, and hey, what are you doing? Give me back my mic. This little muppet is called a Nopon. We won't go too in depth with them, as the Nopon have their episode that'll be on the top right. But despite their cute exterior, Nopon are usually older than they look, and are fierce warriors. They also have good bartering skills with the inhabitants of Bionis, and even taming wild beasts, like Arden and defeating the Telethia, or the Dino Beast as they call it. The Nopon also have a tradition to crown the yearly Hero-pon, to take on fierce challengers. Or get rid of them. Nopon tends to live in Frontier Village, located deep within Machina Forest.
Starlight kick!
Oh dear. Well, this lovely lass here is a Hyentia. Hyentia are a humanoid race similar to Homs that are skilled in the use of ether. One key difference between a Hyentia and Homs is the wings attached to the top of their heads. Due to this physical feature, Hyentia are usually nicknamed bird people by the Nopon of Frontier Village. Another difference is their lifespans. Hyentia can live for a ridiculous amount of time, upwards to 4 centuries in average human years. Hyentia are the most technologically advanced race on Bionis, with them taking refuge on Alchemoth, a floating city that rests above Erith Sea, on the head of the Bionis. One last race of the Bionis would be the Giants. As in the name, giants are in fact gigantic, with their size toppling the many races of Bionis. Little is known about them, besides their size and the great battle with the spiders in ancient times, because they went extinct long ago. Alright, all of the races of Bionis are done. Time to see all of the races of Mechonis. Oh. There's only one. This fat fellow here is called a Machina. The Machina is like if the Homs and the Hyentia had a baby, removed all the bird stuff and replaced it with mechanical stuff. Machina usually reside on the fallen arm of the Mechonis, as they were driven away from the Titan when the Bionis attacked many thousands of years ago. One notable construction the Machina have made is the Junks. This part boat, part plane. How the hell does this thing work? Well, it can be used for transportation and as a base of operations. The Bionis and Mechonis have deep and fascinating environments and inhabitants, and we are glad to present them to you ravish Xenobladers. We'll see you on the next episode of National Xenographic. By the architect! These lifesavers are delicious!
What are you doing?
Oh? What do you want? Oh, come on! Can't I have anything here? That was the last meal Pyro gave me before locking me in this horrid basement. Like, look how the previous narrator guy turned out. Oh god, he's coming. If anyone is out there, please save me.